Hey everyone, Jackie Greene, the wife of renowned gospel artist and pastor Travis Greene, was left utterly shaken and reportedly even collapsed in emotional disbelief after Travis made a confession that has now rippled across the internet and sent both the gospel community and his millions of supporters into an absolute frenzy, because this revelation is not just another celebrity headline, but a deeply personal admission that has forced many to reevaluate what they thought they knew about one of gospel music's most celebrated couples, a pair often admired as a shining example of love, ministry, and family in the public eye. For years, Travis and Jackie have shared stages, pulpits, and platforms, presenting themselves as a united front devoted to faith and the message of God's grace, with Travis inspiring the world through his songs like Made a Way and Intentional, while Jackie stood as both his partner in life and ministry. Yet, behind the polished image, there were rumblings of strain, whispers of secrets, and now a confession that Travis himself admitted could no longer remain hidden, a confession that has not only tested the Greene family's faith, but has also ignited a storm of speculation about transparency, leadership, and vulnerability in the church. According to insiders and the viral clips now spreading across social media, Travis revealed in a brutally honest and tear-filled address that he had been carrying a private struggle for years, one that he said was eating away at his peace, challenging his integrity, and keeping him from fully walking in the freedom he preaches about every Sunday. And though he did not initially specify every detail, the weight of his words was enough to pierce through the gospel community, with many interpreting his confession as an acknowledgement of personal failings, struggles with temptation, or choices that did not align with the sacred trust placed in him as a pastor, husband, and father. The moment Jackie heard his words, witnesses say she was overwhelmed, breaking down emotionally and even collapsing into the arms of close family and friends, not just because of what was revealed, but because of the sheer shock of watching the man she built her life with bare his soul in such a raw, public, and unexpected manner. A collapse that symbolized not weakness, but the heavy toll of loving someone whose truth suddenly shifts the ground beneath you. What makes this moment even more powerful is the way it has cracked open a larger dialogue in the church about honesty and confession, with some praising Travis for his courage in admitting his humanity and refusing to hide behind the image of perfection that so many leaders cling to, while others have criticized him for waiting too long, arguing that leaders must be held to higher standards and that secrecy damages not only marriages but entire congregations. Jackie, after recovering from the initial shock, has reportedly expressed both heartbreak and determination, acknowledging that the confession left her wounded, but also reaffirming her faith in God's ability to heal, restore, and redeem even the most painful situations. A response that has drawn admiration from fans who see her as embodying grace under unimaginable pressure. Meanwhile, the internet is ablaze with divided reactions. Some fans are devastated, worried about the future of the Greene family and their ministry, while others argue that this is precisely what Christianity is about: the acknowledgement of sin, the courage to confess, and the faith to seek forgiveness and restoration. The confession has also reignited conversations about the pressures placed on gospel artists, who are expected to be both entertainers and spiritual leaders, a dual role that leaves little room for mistakes and often forces them to bury their struggles until the weight becomes unbearable. And Travis's willingness to open up has been called by some a necessary breaking point that could inspire other leaders to embrace transparency instead of performance. For the Greenes, this is not just a moment of public scandal, but a crossroads that will define their future as a couple and as spiritual leaders, with Jackie's collapse serving as a haunting reminder of the real emotional toll these revelations take on families, not just the audiences watching. Whether this confession leads to deeper healing or more division remains to be seen, but what is certain is that Travis Greene's revelation has shaken the internet, disrupted the image of perfection many had attached to him and Jackie, and reminded the world that behind every gospel hit and polished sermon are real human beings grappling with real struggles. And as the dust settles, fans are left asking whether this moment will mark the downfall of a ministry or the rebirth of a testimony, with Jackie's resilience and Travis's honesty standing as the deciding factors in a story that has only just begun to unfold. Thanks for watching.